Greetings. My name is Ed Turlington Jr., I'm also known as Haas. I want to thank everyone that has watched my videos until now. I'm almost finished making videos. I've said just about everything that can be said about my case. Of course, my case is community interest. This is as much your problem, not as quite as much your problem as it is mine. But if I can be set up and falsely arrested by the Delaware County Sheriff Harlan Moore and his partner, Under Sheriff Gail Wells. If he knows you, maybe you're safe, but you'll have a loved one or someone you care about or somebody, it can happen to them too. And I'm sure it has happened a whole lot. Both these guys are old, 70-year-old cowards. God knows how many people they have falsely arrested and had put in prison in their time. They just didn't happen to be former law enforcement and private investigators. They probably were poor, didn't have the means to do anything about it. But if I have to go to court with this, if it's not dropped, then I need to wrap up the videos, and I want you to understand. The sheriff and the undersheriff will never be in law enforcement after this term. I've shown what they did to me. I want you to understand about Nick Lellicus. A lot of you guys think he's a nice guy. He seems like a nice guy. He's a second generation. His grandpa Lellicus immigrated here from Turkey. Nick was born and raised in Boston to parents who were born and raised in Boston. His father was. I think I have to check on his mother again. I'm pretty sure they both were. It doesn't matter. He thinks like a New Englander. Okay? And in Boston, don't forget, they don't have the right to self-defense. They have the duty to flee. I've covered that in a previous video. Go look up duty to retreat or duty to flee. If someone attacks you in Boston, you don't have the legal right to fight back. If someone comes into your home at night, and if the government did for some reason allow you to have a gun, you can't use it on them until you first get out of the house or attempt. You have to legally show that you tried to make every effort to get your family out of the house when the burglar came in, or the thief, or whatever the person is. The criminal didn't belong there. So that's the background he's coming from. He was brought up in. Okay. I need to do one specifically on Nick Lellicus and to make sure you understand what he knows about this case, and he's still pursuing it. Because this is why all of you and me and I and Delaware County are paying $13 million worth of taxes. Because you have corrupt people that instead of getting caught, it should have been squashed. As soon as it came out, the minute I showed Nick this stuff, he should have, went back and looked at it and dropped it. Instead, he's pursuing with it. My family's been through hell, and I've been through hell for something I didn't do, and the sheriff knew I didn't do. Not at the time he was ordering me arrested for it. And this coward Gail Wells he withheld that exculpatory evidence from the district attorney in the probable cause affidavit. So the only question mark here, the only unknown here is Kenny. We don't know what he knows. But before I get an attorney, I'm going to either sit down with Kenny or wait outside his office and to hand it to him, or I'll send it to him in a certified letter so I know that he has seen the exculpatory evidence that I didn't do what I'm accusing him of doing. And then he knows the guy I shot was arrested last year for meth. He got convicted for it last year in Arkansas. He is convicted for it, over 30 years before that for having half trash bag of narcotics for a felony. And in between those times, it's been a lifetime of spousal abuse arrests and drunk driving. He's a menace to society. At the time I shot him, he had a bench warrant for his arrest for failing to appear on a poaching charge that he perjured himself about in my preliminary trial that I told Nick about, and Nick came back right in front of Lance, and my little brother Lance. You guys know him; he's an attorney. Before he was an attorney, he was a infantry soldier and French commando and airborne and expert medic. He's had 41 months in combat, and the Army sent him to law school, so he hasn't been an attorney his whole life, or his whole adult life. Anyway, he said right in front of Lance that he checked out the perjury charge and there was nothing to it, which is a lie, and which I've shown you. So, in summary, again, it's almost over with these videos. I appreciate you watching them. I'm going to find out about Kenny, and I'm going to make a real nasty video about the sheriff, and one on the undersheriff, and one on Nick. And we'll see, the deal of Kenny. Now, I was told 4 years ago by a Delaware County attorney, former assistant district attorney, that Nick Lellicus wanted to be district attorney. Okay, about a week ago, not even a week ago, I was told by a lawyer in Ottawa County, who's a former assistant DA in the 13th Judicial District, that I'm getting my lawyers confused. I was told by another lawyer that Kenny wants to be Attorney General of the state of Oklahoma, if not governor. Okay, he has some ambitious goals there, pretty lofty sights he's got set there. But I know, and you know, that nobody's going to get elected to dog catcher in the state of Oklahoma who thinks it's a good idea to prosecute a disabled veteran and family man. You see my children keep running back in here, and local farmer for shooting in self-defense a multiple felon drug dealer, piece of garbage like the man I shot, like the person I shot, who's been a hazard to society his entire life. And he's a dirtbag informant that gets to come over to Oklahoma and commit all the crimes he wants, but he has, gets convicted left and right in our border states. Remember, my farm in Delaware County, where we are, borders Arkansas and Missouri. So that's the deal on them. And I'll probably do one real quick more video why it needs to be dropped also, because I'm getting ready to go up against somebody that, according to Kenny Wright, the DA, has the power to get men killed. And I had this other Ottawa County lawyer I was thinking about, who's a former ADA, tell me that, well, he went up against him and he didn't get killed. Well, you're also a lawyer and a former assistant district attorney, and what you went up for him against wouldn't have got him disbarred or cost him any money or the ability to represent murderers and drug dealers. But I do appreciate that lawyer's talking to me, because he did tell me a lot of stuff about the law, about the courts and stuff around here. Anyway, thank you for listening to this, and I'm almost done, and I really appreciate your support, and things will probably get real interesting from a community aspect in my next couple of videos. Thank you.